there, Al Perhax here, Sifu Al Perhax, and welcome to this training session. In this particular training session, we're going to talk about something that I think is really important. It's actually going to be in two parts because there's two things you need to think about when you're doing training. The first one is the what, right? Maybe it could be the when. It could be what you want to learn, and that's what we're going to talk about the what today. And then in the second session is really going to be the how. How do we get from point A to point B? And I'll allude to some things today that I think this is going to be a great learning experience. This is called transformation equals mind force and quantum qigong alchemy. And I'm going to explain. You're going to see there's very subtle nuances between alchemy and transformation. When I talk to you about why you want to work in the inner circle, it's because it's a transformational process. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what that means, because people ask me, what exactly does that mean, right? And I want to make sure that you understand what kind of transformation you should expect and you should be receiving as you go. Now, here's the thing. Everyone does not fit into the same size suit. One of my instructors always used to say, not everyone fits into a size 40 coat, which is absolutely true. And that's the same thing here. When you look at life in general, there's always going to be people that have a better skill level, a better talent than you may have, and you may have a better talent at something that somebody else doesn't have. Example is artists, right? Some people are unbelievable creative artists. They can just look at something and draw it, and you look at it and you try to draw it and you draw a stick figure, right? That's one thing. Second thing, athletes, right? Some people are stronger, faster, and that's just the way it is. Male or female, doesn't matter. Same thing's true here. So you're going to have certain talents and abilities that are going to resonate with you easier than others. And that just makes sense when you think about it. Most Qigong programs, and believe me, I've tried most of them. And when I say tried, is I am actively seeking techniques that work in order to get me. I know where the path is, but if I can get a technique to get me there faster, I'm going to do it. And I've added some techniques. Most of the time, the techniques are not worth it because somebody's learning a watered down method that doesn't really work. And when I say it doesn't work, what that means to me is I'm all about physical externalization of the energy, of the qi. I'm also about really having concrete signs. I call them side effects. I call them techniques to get you to feel exactly what you're doing. Side effects is a great way to put it. Side effects can be either good or bad. But anyway, let's get started. And again, so this is going to be the what, okay? The next session will be the how. So let's go to the slides, and I'll kind of pop back in once we do that. All right, so here we are. Let's go to the slideshow. All right, here we go. Transformation equals mind force and quantum qigong alchemy, the inner circle. So the start of all of this comes down to having the framework. And if you haven't seen this slide, you should have, because it's pretty much everywhere, or something similar to this. But you're learning several different skill sets. You're learning quantum qigong, esoteric meditation, psychic power, healing methods, law of attraction, hypnotic influence, to create new habits or rituals, develop extreme self-confidence, right? Confidence in general. And it's esoteric transformation. And that's what we're going to talk about, what that transformation means. I kind of isolate it down to become a controller of your mind, body, and spirit. And that's it. So in this first 12 weeks, what should your goals be? What kind of transformation? Well, I want it to be transformation that's tangible. I want it to be transformation that you can readily see and feel and understand that you got a transformation in 12 weeks. So sometimes it's not a drastic thing. And let's face it, it's going to take you years to get really good at this stuff. I'm still getting good at this stuff, and I've been doing it over 20 years. So that ought to show you right there. So what is transformation? As a noun, transformations, a thorough or dramatic change in form or appearance. Synonym, change, alteration, modification, variation, conversion, revision, amendment, metamorphosis, transfiguration, evolution, and mutation. Well, metamorphosis is probably the best way to describe it, because you're going to go from one form to another. You're going to go from where you are right now to a much greater person, being. And that's going to be a transformation that's going to be physical, mental, spiritual. And I'm going to show you exactly what we mean by that. In physics, the induced or spontaneous change of one element into another by a nuclear process. And that's going to bring us up to our next thing, which is, what is alchemy? Alchemy refers to a quest for a fabled elixir capable of turning copper and other base metals to gold, and also a quest for something to prevent human beings' bodies from becoming old. Alchemy is both a philosophy and an ancient practice that seeks to prepare the elixir of longevity, or philosopher's stone, accomplish the transmutation into gold, and attain ultimate wisdom. So again, if you look at transformation and alchemy, they're very similar. And that's really what we're going to be endeavoring in this training, is getting you to a transformation of better vitality, better health, longer longevity, right, with your health, looking younger, feeling younger. I mean, as I record this, I'm in my mid-50s. I don't feel like I'm in my mid-50s, but the fact of the matter is, I still feel like I'm much younger, and most people tell me that I am. In fact, my kids, my youngest is in her early 20s, my oldest is in his 30s. People say to me, that can't be your father. He looks far too young. And a part of it is genetics, obviously. I mean, that plays a big part in a lot of what we do, just like I had mentioned just a few minutes ago, where some people have talents that are greater than others. If you have good genetics, they can take you far, right? They can make you faster, stronger. They can make you in better shape because of your genetics. They can make you look younger because of your genetics. But, however, there's always ways to extend and take those talents and make them even greater. And so that's what this is all about, is taking the talents, skills, aspirations that you have and making them stronger and better. So in this first 12 weeks, you're looking at this transformation and you're thinking, I would just like to be able to blank. So for example, I do a lot of coaching. And so when I do this as a coach, it's a lot more hands-on. It's a lot more something that is something that's going to take a little bit more of a process. And that is that, let's see here. Let's go back here. Great. So what I'm doing when I'm coaching with somebody is I'm taking them from where they're at to where they want to be. Now, a coach, when I'm coaching somebody, mentoring somebody, I'm actively getting involved in everything that they do, whether it's diet, whether it's exercise, whether it's business. And I've done coaching in all of these different areas, which kind of makes me unique from the standpoint I'm teaching these esoteric sciences, but I'm also teaching application sciences. So business, sales, marketing, coaching executives, and so forth, right? I integrate elements of what we're going to be talking about today into it so that people understand how it works, right? So when I coach somebody on a 12 weeks is where do we want to be at the end of 12 weeks? And some people have said, I want to lose 10 pounds. I want to lose 15 pounds. I want to get in better shape. So again, what does that take? That's the what, right? And then there's the how. How are we going to get there? And the how we're going to get there is through exercises, meditations, rituals, if you will, in order to help you to become the better person than you are right now. That's really what it all is. And everybody can become a better person in 12 weeks, whatever that transformation means to you or means to me, right? And I do the same thing. So don't think that I'm not doing this. Every 12 weeks, I'm looking for a transformation in myself, regardless of what that might be. It's going to be different. It might be business. It might be getting in better shape, right? It might be in saving money. It might, whatever the case might be, you set the target, you focus on the target, and then you go after it. You put in the execution, the flight time. And that's really what it comes down to as far as being successful. So let's go back to the to the slides. And here we go. Mind Force, Quantum, Qigong, Alchemy. And let's talk about what that means and how we can go to that next level for sure. Forging your elements together. Creating a new physical body. Developing a new mind power. Obtaining spiritual enlightenment. Manifesting health, wealth, abundance, and longevity. So these are kind of some of the core components of the transformation of the alchemy, right? Forging elements together. What does that mean? That means you're going to take elements of your life that you are successful in, and you're going to utilize them to create this new being, right? You're going to be a new being in 12 weeks. Whether you like it or not, you're going to be. So you're either going to consciously be aware of it and say, I'm going to be better in 12 weeks. Some say that, and when I coach people, I always say, you're either getting better or you're getting worse. There's very, 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 very few times in your life when you can coast. And I know that that's a hard concept, and I want you to think about that concept really, really hard, because if you understand the concept, you always need to be moving. You always need to be moving. People that stand still, they don't grow because they're not moving, right? So you've got to be moving. Creating a new physical body. Let's talk a little bit about that. So in 12 weeks, creating a new physical body, you're going to be creating a chi body, number one, because you're going to be doing chi power exercises, quantum qigong exercises that are going to literally create a new physical you within 12 weeks, because you'll be much stronger internally. When you look at somebody that has a great body, let's say physical body, strong, ripped abs, right? You see a woman that has an unbelievable figure, and you say, I would like to have that figure. You see a man that's got the six-pack abs and the broad shoulders and looks really, really tapered. You want that type of body. Not every body that looks like that is internally in great shape. And so even though you see somebody that's in great shape, oftentimes it's an illusion. You're going to find out as we go through this training, there's a lot of illusions in this world. And as you become more spiritually minded, you'll realize how much life is an illusion, and that what you see a lot of times is not exactly what you really do see. And so you are going to be creating a new physical body. Whether you say to me, hey, I want to get in better physical shape, or whether you say to me, I want to lose weight, or I want whatever, you will be creating a new physical body by doing the exercises that I'm going to recommend to you. And if you don't, it means you're not doing the work, period. Okay, developing new mind power. It's all about mind force, right? And what that means is when you're developing new mind power is that process of becoming a controller of your mind, body, spirit, but integrating this mind force with that energy and being able to expand it even greater over time. That's what it's about. And using your mind, they say you only use a certain percentage of your mind. We're going to teach you how you can use more of your mind and get more than 10%. People say 10% of the mind. I don't know where they came up with that figure, but we'll go with that. Obtaining spiritual enlightenment. How many people want to experience that? Well, I will be honest with you. I spoke to a woman just the other day, and she said to me, I'm kind of spiritually enlightened. I see a lot of weird things all the time. If I take your training, am I going to see more? Because some of that frightens me. And I told her, I said, you know what? You are enlightened, right? You are seeing some things, you're feeling some things, experiencing some things that maybe you're not, really hip to. You don't want to go through it. I said, but why don't you go through the 12 weeks, and as you go through it, embrace it. And let's work together on it and see if at the end of the 12 weeks, you can make a decision then. Because you certainly can mute your spiritual enlightenment. You can make it so that it's totally diffused. Of course, I don't suggest it. I think it's always better to be spiritually enlightened, whether you think it's whether it scares you or not. And then manifesting health, wealth, abundance, longevity. These are such key core components of the program, because without your health, what else do you have? Doesn't matter. You can have the most money in the world. Look at Steve Jobs. one of the wealthiest individuals in the world. He had a physical situation that ended up ending his life. And he probably would have traded all of his money to get healthier, right? Wealth, obviously. Without wealth, you may not be able to do as many things as you want to. Abundance is a word that I love because it connotates being fulfilled in a lot of different areas, because abundance can be in your health, your wealth, your longevity, and that comes to longevity, right? Nobody is guaranteed another day in this world. I'm in good shape. I feel great. My mind is lucid and everything like that. But, whether I spend another day on this earth or not is not really up to me. I think there's a lot of factors involved, and that I'm going to do the best I can to live as long as I can, as healthy as I can, and look as young as I can for as long as I can, right? But I think we like to be in control of that. Oftentimes we are not. So let's talk a little bit about physical alchemy, okay? Building the internal body. And for those of you that are kind of new to this, and even if you're not, there are methods that work. There are methods that are okay. And then there are methods that just don't do what they should do. And let me talk a little bit about that. So for example, like I said, I can learn from anybody, and I go through different types of esoteric training, qigong, tai chi, yoga, all these different things. And my goal when I go into any of these classes is it going to make me better? Am I going to be able to externalize my energy better? Is it going to give me an overall perspective on my mental capacity, my spiritual capacity, those kind of things, right? That's kind of when I go in there. And if I don't get those things, then I don't feel like it's a waste, but it's not getting exactly what I need. It certainly wouldn't integrate it into any of my programs. But when we talk about building the internal body, we're talking physically building the internal body up so that we're going to allow your organs, your internal body to be stronger, right? I mentioned before, somebody has a body, beautiful, male or female. They may have great physical body, but the internal body could be rotten to the core. And we see this happen many times, people that look great and they drop dead. Why? There's a lot of reasons why, but a lot of times you don't know why. But making an assumption is that their internal body's not healthy. And so we're going to do chi exercises. We're going to do meditations. We're going to do energy infusion techniques that are going to design to build up your internal body. So this is the internal bodybuilding. So if you can do external bodybuilding. I lift weights. I stay in shape. I do push-ups and everything like that. But I also do exercises for my internal body, knowing that there's more to it than just the physical. And by increasing the internal body, you're increasing your health and longevity by keeping your body in better working order. It's kind of like if your body was the car and you make sure that it's getting maintenance all the time. Well, by doing chi exercises, by having a ritual that you do on an ongoing basis, you're keeping your body healthy. Just like if you look at some people say, hey, I'm working out, I'm doing my cardio, right? Cardio is one of those things that's expected to keep your heart healthy and so on and so forth. Perfect, right? Of course, we know people that do an excessive amount of cardio that end up hurting themselves. And what I'm going to teach you is I'm going to teach you exercises that are going to be designed to build up your internal body at a pace you want to build it up at. And there are going to be some side effects, good and bad, depending upon how quickly. Now, if you have side effects that are good or bad, what that means is the program works, okay? If the program didn't work, it wouldn't have side effects. And I've been through many. I went through a program about a year ago. Good information, some stuff that I forgot about or whatever. And it was good, but it wasn't powerful. There's a difference between good and powerful, okay? Internal organ rejuvenation. So no matter where you're at, what age you are, let's say you're in your 30s, 40s, 50s, even 60s or later, and you want to rejuvenate your organs. And you're thinking, I didn't even know that was possible, right? You can do it. with the combination of physical exercises and mental exercise, meditations, you can do that. And it's going to make you a different person. You are going to transform from where you are to where you want to be. Creating a shield of power. This is something that a lot of people say to me, I want to learn how to have an iron body, shield of power. Well, I'm going to show you several different shields of power that you can use to keep negativity away from you, to make sure that people are not messing with you, right? When I say messing with you, messing with your energy, draining your energy vampires, that kind of thing. And then next is learning how to emit chi energy. Again, most courses that you look at, most people you train with, they will not show you how to emit chi energy because, quite frankly, they don't know how to. So if you can't emit chi energy, then the program you're following doesn't really work that well. That was one of my qualifications when I first got in, is being able to feel the chi. That's one of my qualifiers when I meet somebody. Can I feel your chi? Your qigong instructor, let me feel your chi. Oftentimes they're like, I don't even know what you're talking about, right? Now they may show some kind of physical exercise or something like that. And some guys can show chi energy by punching you or something like that, which is okay. But I'm talking about feeling chi energy without. When I'm just sitting here like this, I can cause you to feel my chi energy. Now, if I can emit that chi energy, can I just move objects all the time? Can I just do all these? No. Think about this. And believe me, when I teach somebody how to emit chi energy, I can teach them. I'll teach you how to move objects, how to put candles out with your eyes. And we talk about that in some of our training. And that, it really blows people away. They're like, how can that even be possible? It doesn't seem real, but it is real. Okay. It's scientific, science-backed, because you're emitting your internal energy and you're using it to manipulate. Okay. And we'll go into more about that. And for those of you interested in that, obviously check out the Chi Power Blueprint. You can go into more details on that. I did that. That was 20 years ago study, right? That's not where I'm at now. But everything that you learn is designed for you to understand that you're getting somewhere. You're moving slowly forward. And that's why I always taught that. A physical, real energy. Essentially, that's what it's all about, is that when I'm going to teach you physical energy, it's physical. It's not a mental, which I, again, train with a lot of guys, great instructors, great people. I mean, I love working with them, but it's like, it's all mental energy, right? They don't have the concept of the physicalness of the energy. Now, that's okay. Some of these guys are extremely strong. Some of these ladies I've trained with are really strong. Great mental powers, great mind force. But do you realize how much more powerful you're going to be when you have the physical and you have the mental, right? So you're going to generate internal chi energy and power, creating a storehouse of vitality and health. And what this picture depicts is that energy flowing out of your body. And it might start at a very small band, but then all of a sudden, it's going to move to a larger expansion. Talk about your aura, your chi body, right? Your chi body starts out wherever it starts out, close to your body. But as your chi grows, it grows around. And so that your aura, your chi body, is now representative of a much larger space. When you walk into a room, people should turn their heads because they feel the energy before they see you as you walk into that room. I'm sitting in my office right now, and what I can do in this office, and it's not that large of an office, I can feel it up with chi. I can fill it up with chi and make that feel a certain way. So if you walked in, I could have you feel a certain way based on that chi. Now that's physical. I may use my mind to mentally direct it, but it's a physical chi that you would walk in and you would feel. And if you're really sensitive, you would really feel it. And that's really what I'm talking about when it comes to the physical aspects of the chi. Powerful stuff. I mean, there's no question about it. It's definitely something that you want to align yourself with. And then you've got mental alchemy, right? So this is kind of the mind force is the total package of everything combined. But when I talk about mental alchemy, it's increasing the power of the mind. Okay. And one of the key concepts I use for that is I call it developing a plus 10% mind, because we've heard people say that you only use 10% of your mind, right? So my concept is this, is that let's work on creating a plus 10% mind. If we only use 10% of our mind, if that's a true statement, then if we even took our mind to 11%, would be exponentially more power. If we took it to 20%, that's even more. So how do we do that? We do that by using exercises and techniques that's going to expand the power of the mind. And just like we're going to do the physical exercise, we're going to expand the chi body, we're going to expand the mind. We're going to make the mind stronger. We're going to learn mental control. Now, you learn mental control by doing exercise, meditations, rituals that put you into a mode of control. Okay, you may start out being out of control totally. I mean, how many people come to me and say, man, I'm totally, I need to get back to control in my life. I feel like things are out of control. And you see, that's a mental image also. That's a mental image. When somebody says that to me, I imagine, or I feel, or I see this person in chaos, like just spinning around. They don't have any control. They can't hold on to anything. Things are just in a chaotic state. And you have to say, okay, you need to go back to stability. You need to go back to a center point where you can then branch out from there. I don't know if that makes sense, but we'll go into more in the training that makes more sense of that. Harnessing the power of hypnotic influence. One of the reasons why hypnotic influence is one of the key pillars, right? These part of the framework. So you got the Qigong, quantum Qigong, Qi power. You've got the esoteric meditation. You've got the psychic energy. You've got healing. You've got abundance and attraction, manifestation, and then you've got hypnotic influence. A lot of times people say, how does the hypnotic influence relate to all these other elements? I've never heard of a Qigong instructor or meditation person getting into hypnotic influence. And it's because that everything that I learned as I went, it were the add-ons, right? So I started developing my Qi body, and I got good at that. I was doing my meditations, right? So physical Qi, and let me make this extremely clear so that there's no confusion on this. So you've got your Qi body, okay? Your physical Qi body exercises that you're going to learn are going to be primarily yang exercises, which means they're going to be developing exercises. Just like if you were bodybuilding for the physical body, you're building up your body. You're lifting weights, you're doing push-ups, you're doing exercises designed to build up your body mass, make it stronger, and so forth. So those are yang exercises, physical exercises. The next kind of exercise is a yin exercise, which is going to be more tonifying, relaxing. It's going to work with your mind more. It's about awareness. It's about sensitivity. These are all things that are going to be taught and developed as you go. So you are going to have the buildup and you're going to have the relax down. You see, without both of them, you have an inconsistent process of growing and transformation. You must have both. Many Qigong practitioners may teach building of energy, but they don't teach that relaxation point. Now, they try to teach relaxation from a standing perspective or sitting perspective, but sometimes it's not relaxation enough. You need to get your body to a total dead body state. And that's when you'll know that you're totally relaxed. And that's obviously what you're going to learn as well. Just makes sense. So hypnotic influence is going to allow you to influence your mind, okay, to be able to exact real change in self-image and confidence. Self-image and confidence are one of the number one things that if you go through the 12 weeks, if you start to change that up, it will be life-changing. The biggest thing that holds people back from anything in their life are self-image and confidence. And if you wanted to add something else in, it would be doubt and fear, right? Fear and doubt, self-image and confidence. If I can help somebody to get that under control, they can do whatever they want in this world. That's why people don't succeed in any area. Take any area that we're talking about: losing weight, getting in physical shape, getting started in a new business, changing jobs, getting a new partner, a spouse, whatever. All comes down to self-image and confidence. Do you have the confidence to make that change? And what's holding you back from self-confidence and self-image is usually fear and doubt. You fear that unexpected, that unknown, and you have self-doubt. Self-doubt is the exact opposite of self-image and self-confidence. And so if you have self-doubt, you need to remove it. And that's, again, what this is about. So again, we're moving at a lot of different levels fast, but the method is put together so that it's working on all these areas at the exact same time. So you're building your physical energy, you're getting more relaxed, calm, and working with these esoteric mental training systems in order to become a mental controller. That's really what it comes down to. When you hear me talk about being a controller, it means you are in control, physically, mentally, spiritual, okay? And I'm going to show you exactly how you're going to be in control, because I'm going to put you into your own private little cockpit, your little dashboard, mental dashboard, physical dashboard, where you can actually control what it is that you want to accomplish, which is actually quite cool. Spiritual alchemy is the next thing. And as I mentioned, this woman mentioned, I don't know if I want to be spiritually, I don't know if I want to go further. I'm already seeing stuff, right? And it's all about opening up the third eye, but it's more than the third eye. If you take a look at this picture, what this really depicts, and if you see that aura around that body, is it's more than opening up that third eye. It's opening up an awareness and sensitivity everywhere. It's psychic sensitivity. Everyone has this psychic sensitivity. And just like I mentioned, the talents and abilities, people have psychic talents. Okay, when you were small children, we're sensitive. You've heard small kids talk about they have friends that they see, and they see spirits, and they may even see past relatives. I saw grandpa. Well, grandpa's not alive anymore, but the kid saw him, right? So parents say, you didn't see grandpa. Grandpa's not here anymore. And it desensitizes the child after a while. And that's desensitization over time. You kind of mute out what's really going on around you. But when you're younger, probably under 5 years old, you are experiencing these types of things. Now, the people that continue to have that sensitivity, it's because either they were raised in a household that the parents didn't mute or desensitize them, number one, or they just naturally have that proclivity, just like that person that's super fast, that can beat everyone in a race and they've never really trained for it, right? Or that person that can lift a super heavy weight and they've never done it before because they're just naturally strong, right? Just like that artist, like my daughter, who's an extremely great artist, can draw things and they look fantastic, whereas if I tried it, it wouldn't look anywhere near the same, okay? That's the psychic sensitivity. You want to learn how to separate the spirit. You'll understand and begin to really embrace the fact that you are a spiritual being. Your body is more or less, the way I describe it, like your vehicle, like your car. You get into your car and you get out of your car. Well, this body is a vehicle that houses your spirit. And when this vehicle is no longer around, your spirit still will be around. And as you understand and learn to deal with that right now, while you're inside this body, you can do some really, really extraordinary things. And it's really cool. So you'll learn how to harness the power of dream states. You'll understand knowledge of spiritual matters that maybe you never had access to. And it's really all about connecting your spirit with your mind and body. I mean, who doesn't talk about this concept of mind, body, and spirit? It's one of those cliche sayings that everyone talks about: mind, body, and spirit. In reality, what does that mean? It means what I just showed you there. We're going to help you to develop a larger and massive amount of internal energy that you can use physically to manipulate with. And when I say manipulate, use it for healing. And when I say healing, and you've heard me say this before, I hope, there's many levels to healing. There's physical healing, there's spiritual healing, there's emotional healing, there's mental healing, there's healing of relationships. There's so many different levels to it. So healing is again, that's in a pretty big box as well. We all need healing. Everyone does. There are times when I've needed emotional healing. There's been times when I needed physical healing. There's been times when I needed emotional or mental healing, and I needed healing in my relationship, and I needed healing in other areas, right? But that's the way it is. And so you're integrating this mind, body, and spirit totally. And I'm going to teach you exercises that's going to allow the integration. Now, I will say this, a cautionary statement is that these techniques are powerful. They will have the side effects that work. And those side effects that work are going to transform you from where you are to where you want to go. And sometimes you'll be freaked out. And it's okay, because we've all gone through that. And just like the woman that I spoke to, that I mentioned earlier, who's a little bit afraid of taking, even going further into the spiritual realm, my goal with her is, hey, let's try it out for 12 weeks and let me help you. Let me guide you. Let me allow you to get some clarity on why you're seeing these things, and you'll realize that this is a real blessing for you. This isn't something that you should be afraid of. This is something you should embrace, and something that you can know that in the rest of your life that you're getting access to information that a very, very, very small few percentage of people. That's why I call it the chosen few. Some people are chosen, and some people become chosen because they say, I want to learn. So no matter where you're at, you may not have the best sensitivity, awareness, chi, relaxation. That's okay, because I'm going to teach you exactly how to do that. And you can utilize those techniques to get you wherever you need to go in your life, regardless of where you want to go in your life, which I think is a very cool thing. So let's talk a little bit about becoming the alchemist, right? You're going to transmute yourself several different ways. You're going to transmute yourself from solid, liquid to gas. Now, what does that mean exactly? Right now, obviously, you're solid. And this is kind of a metaphor for the transformation that you're going to take, the alchemy that you're going to take from here to whenever. Now, when I say whenever, the reason I say that is because everybody has different talents, abilities, skills, beliefs, self-confidence. And so for somebody to go through this process, it's going to take a little while. For me to tell you an exact time, I can't determine that. It really determines how much flight time you put in, how bad you want it. But you start out at a solid state where your body is solid, okay? It's as it is right now. Liquid state is where now the body's becoming more pliable. It's becoming more in the flow. You've heard the word in the flow. And this is where you're going to start to experience some of these extraordinary types of things, separating the body or separating the spirit from the body, doing the remote viewing, astral projection, because you're kind of in this liquidy state. And again, I'll go into a little more detail as we go through the exact exercises. And then ultimately you get to a gas state where you literally could walk through walls if that was the case. And that's kind of the goal, okay? I haven't really met too many people that were in that state or could stay in that state. But think of it this way. This takes you from point A to this point Z of gas, at that gas state, you're more spirit than you are body. Okay. And I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but that's the smallest percentage of individuals that are going to be in that classification, because it's going to take a lot longer. Think about it. If you had to take your body from a solid liquid to a gas, how long is that going to take, right? That is true alchemy right there. How to do it? It's a process that takes time, 2 to 5 years. For some people, it could take less. You may already have 20 years of experience and we just need to tweak you a little bit. And you say, I'm really good at this, but not good at that. I can help you to get there 10 times, 100 times faster than you ever thought possible. You must train daily. Now, when I say train, I'm not talking about running 10 miles. I'm not talking about lifting weights. I'm not talking about anything that's overly aggressive or strenuous. I'm talking about exercises that anyone could do, whether you are 10 years old or you're 100 years old. You could do these exercises. They're custom designed for you based on your body type, based on your age, based on your gender. It doesn't matter. Everything is designed to meet you at your needs. But you must train daily, physically, mentally, spiritually. Okay? Which means you must combine all three of these pillars, the triad method: physical, mental, spiritual, every single day. Because as you start to train every single day, you start to integrate the physical to the mental to the spiritual and all the way around. And the biggest key is you must have the correct recipe, which is really the Mind Force method, the quantum Qigong system that's going to allow you to be able to get the results that you desire in the shortest time frame by having a complete method that takes you step by step by step, by combining the quantum Qigong, by combining the esoteric meditation, by combining the psychic power abilities, by combining healing methods, by combining the abilities to manifest and attract the things that you desire in your life, and using hypnotic influence as a way to influence your subconscious and your conscious minds. That is the Mind Force framework. And this is the transformation is alchemy. This is an alchemy process, and you are going to find it extraordinary. By the end of the 12 weeks, probably sooner, most people get a lot of these techniques to work the very first day that they use them. They start to feel the energy immediately. A lot of times people, first time they'll do one of the lying down meditations that we teach, they're going to experience something significant. And that's really what I want. I want you to experience something significant. And over this program, over the next 12 weeks, significant. But in order for you to do that, you need to have a target. You need to focus on that target, and then you need to execute, which means you need to put in the flight time, which means you need to train daily. And if you do that, you're going to get to the point where you become successful at that end of that 12 weeks. Now, that 12 weeks is a starting point, because then there's going to be another 12 weeks and then another 12 weeks. But here's why it's done this way. Is I used to train people in 30-day increments. You sign up for the inner circle and you come in 30 days. Great. But what I found is that there weren't enough goals being set. There weren't enough expectations of where they would be in a certain period of time. Reason I came up with 12 weeks is because 12 weeks is a long enough time frame that gives people the ability to learn and adapt to a new skill, and to a new habit, into a new ritual. And so I've broken the inner circle out into 4 specific 12-week phases, 3-month phases, 90-day phases. That's what this is all about. And I think you'll get amazing results. Now, the next training video that I go into on this concept of transformation is alchemy is going to kind of give you an overview of the actual exercises that you can get started on immediately in order to get the results you're looking for. And I know that once you go through it, you're going to start experiencing extraordinary chi energy development, extraordinary mental clarity, focus, and power. And you're going to start opening up that sensitivity and awareness spiritually, that you're going to start to say, now I kind of get it, right? So by the end of that period of time, you're going to have that transformation. So I look forward to helping you. Anything I can do to assist you, let me know. If you want, shoot me over some of the things you want to establish at the end of the 12 weeks, your goals, your targets, and we'll go from there. Thanks for watching, and have a fantastic day. So long.